Welcome back.
Top story this morning: a statewide man
to Raw Reactions. We got another one today. This one said it was 3 hours ago. So let's check it out. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for all the support. Let's keep it going. Drop some comments below to switch to different news breaking content. Let's go.
Manhunt for a convicted murderer has ended very close to San Antonio, down in Jordanton. That escaped inmate, 46-year-old Gonzalo Lopez, killed during a shootout with law enforcement officers late last night.
Katrina Weber is live where it ended in the middle of a Jordanton neighborhood. And Katrina, that had to be frightening for people who live there.
Yeah, one woman described to us waking up to the sound of a gunshot and then being told frantically by a relative who happens to be in law enforcement to stay inside her home. Now, what happened outside here ended with the death of that suspect, the convicted murderer, Gonzalo Lopez. And up until just a few minutes ago, we had a pretty active crime scene out here. According to the Atascosa County Sheriff, local law enforcement officers had received an alert about the escaped murderer, Gonzalo Lopez, being in this area. He also had deputies watching the highway for a stolen truck that Lopez was said to be driving. When they spotted that truck last night, he says deputies began to follow him.
Don't worry, don't freak out, viewers. That's not somebody in your house. This is somebody over here.
The sheriff says after that, things took an even more violent
watching
turn.
this at home in the dark.
Stuck a rifle out of the window of the truck, fired several shots. He turned on this street here, which is Cypress. He went down there and struck a telephone pole.
Wow.
The sheriff says Lopez then got out of the truck and got into a gun battle with the officers, and that is when he was shot and killed. Now, investigators say prior to this, Lopez had killed 4 people, including 3 children. That was in the town of Centerville in East Central Texas.
Why are these people killing all these kids? What's going on? Comment below if you know what's going on. Why people killing all these kids.
About 250 miles away from here. He says that he broke into that home, killed the people, and then stole that pickup, which he drove to
this dude did all that. That's still a car. He's crazy.
This location. Lopez, who was serving life for capital murder, had escaped from a prison bus back on May 12th.
This is ridiculous. This is a raw reaction too. Sometimes it's not always. I'm not always like mad or not necessarily mad, but like what that type of vibe. Sometimes it's this raw reaction like. Where did this guy even come from? Oh, he's an escaped murderer. What is this, Con Air?
In Centerville, not far from the home where he then allegedly killed those 4 people yesterday. Reporting live in Jordanton, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
That's crazy. Look, this is the guy I thought they was talking about. Is it him?
Now to our breaking news: after 3 weeks on the run, convicted cartel killer Gonzalo Lopez is dead. He was killed in a shootout with police late last night.
Oh, this is him. See, and the other one, they didn't say 3 weeks. That's a key point I remember from another one I watched.
Our top story this morning: a statewide manhunt for a convicted murderer has ended very close to San Antonio, down in Jordanton. That escaped inmate, 46-year-old Gonzalo Lopez, killed during a shootout with law enforcement officers late last night.
Well,
Katrina Weber.
You got it here first. Raw reactions. I did a video on this guy just a day or 2 ago, and now they found him. So as you can see, staying consistent with the content and keep you updated on the videos and the people in the videos if it's a new ongoing thing. And I got y'all back. So keep subscribing, keep liking, commenting below, sharing the clips, all those good things that y'all do. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And we out.
Weber is live where it ended in the middle of a Jordanton neighborhood. And Katrina, that had to be frightening for people who live there.
Yeah, one woman described to us waking up to the sound of a gunshot and then being told frantically by a relative who happens to be in law enforcement to stay inside her home. Now, what happened outside here ended with the death.
We can go right here.
A former teacher accused of sexually assaulting a little boy at school was back in court today. Prosecutors claim that Deontay Taylor not only molested the child, but also hired someone to kill his young victim and the boy's family.
Tonight, the iTunes PJ Rendawa sits down for an exclusive interview with the man allegedly hired to do that hit. PJ.
Mike and Ann, our investigation
Not with the
sounds
guy
more like a Hollywood movie than
who
real
had the
life.
guy, the guy
In the starring role, a
who was
hopeless
gonna
father
do
of 10 who was just desperate enough to take the job. Jail isn't a place anyone wants to be, John White included.
Well, they put murderers in with traffic tickets. Wherever they have room, they stick you.
He's not a career criminal, but no Boy Scout either. On his record, a string of offenses. A 2014 burglary tops the list.
I haven't had much. I'm not, no big crimes or anything.
But when White found himself behind bars on a probation violation in February, the big crime found him.
And he called me to the rec yard and said, hey, I got something I need you to do for me. I want to know if you will take a hit.
White says the man making that deadly request was an elementary school teacher named Deontay Taylor. Taylor was in jail charged with molesting a student at Lusher Elementary School. Turns out that little boy was still on Taylor's mind, and as police would soon discover, on his hit list.
And he told me that it was a 10-year-old boy and his mother and grandmother, and I kind of got interested like that. Are you serious? You want to hurt a baby?
White didn't want to believe Taylor was serious. Then he got the note.
That Saturday, he pushed a note up under my door. It had the victim's name, phone number, address, social security number, driver's license number, everything.
Did he describe what he wanted you to do specifically? How he wanted them killed?
The only specific part he asked was that it looked like an accident, make it look like a carbon monoxide leak, or you could start a fire while everybody was asleep and try and put it on the kid playing with matches.
Those are horrific ways to die.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Even though he had 10 kids of his own, White says he agreed to kill the little boy and his family.
So I felt like if I did do it, he would have gotten somebody else to do it.
How much was he going to pay you?
It was $20,000.
Did he talk about where he'd get the money?
Well, the school was paying him when he wasn't fired. He was on paid leave.
The I-team went to the Ferguson Florissant School District for answers. So he was behind bars, accused of molesting the student, and he's still getting a paycheck from the district.
The standard practice is when someone is placed on leave, they're placed on paid administrative leave.
It was money he promised White to do the job. Before he was released, White says Taylor gave him a name and phone number.
He told me that Mike was his ride or die.
According to prosecutors, Taylor's ride or die was this man, 66-year-old Michael Johnson, Taylor's longtime boyfriend.
What I gathered from it, Michael was going to court, and he was describing how the mother and the grandmother looked. This is where I met Michael the first time. He was just saying, I appreciate you doing this because Deontay needs to be home, and I want my baby home with me. And he handed me $500. He said, I have to hurry up and get back to the church because I'm the choir coordinator.
White had two choices, take the money and run or sound the alarm. Did you at any point, even consider it?
Never. I got a baby that just turned 10. And that's all that was going through my head.
He turned everything over to investigators. What was their reaction when you told them that?
Well, they said they weren't surprised. They seen everything.
St. Louis County Police took it from there, and prosecutors found enough evidence to charge both Taylor and Johnson with conspiracy to commit murder and witness tampering.
And upon them bringing him in the police station, I think he seen my face, and he says out loud, oh, he told on me. And he's like, wow, really? You confessing already?
He confessed.
He confessed.
White admits he could have used the money, but he has no regrets going from potential hitman to, some would say, a hero. Do you feel like you saved their lives?
I do, because they're very serious. Definitely was divine intervention. I have no question about that at all.
Well, John White says he'd like to meet the family he helped save. A victim's advocate working with that family says they're hopeful that can happen in the future. That advocate has also set up a GoFundMe account to help the family pay for moving expenses and counseling for the child victim. You can find a link to that GoFundMe site on our website,
This is crazy. So
for this story.
this whole video, I've been barely saying anything because this is crazy that this is even going on. This is crazy. It's even going on like that. It's wow. It just makes